In 1920, the world was beginning to recover from the Great War and the Spanish flu pandemic. But in a small, isolated town in New England, a far darker tale unfolded, whispered only in hushed tones around flickering oil lamps. The town of Hawthorne Hollow was nestled deep in the woods, cut off from the rest of the world by dense thickets and a winding river. At its center stood the Ashwood Inn, an old but grand establishment run by a widow named Clara Montgomery. Clara had inherited the inn after her husband's sudden death a year earlier. Determined to keep his legacy alive, she welcomed travelers passing through the area. One autumn evening, a thick fog rolled into the town, blanketing everything in an eerie gray shroud. Just as Clara was about to lock the doors for the night, a sharp knock echoed through the empty lobby. Startled, she opened the heavy oak door to find a group of 5 people standing on the porch, their faces pale and their eyes hollow. "Man, may we stay the night?" Clara hesitated. Something about them felt wrong. Their clothes were decades out of fashion, tattered and stained, but their eyes burned with a desperate intensity. Reluctantly, she nodded and showed them to their rooms. Throughout the night, Clara felt uneasy. The inn was eerily quiet, and whenever she checked on her guests, they seemed to be sitting motionless in their rooms, staring out the windows into the fog. By midnight, Clara could no longer ignore the strange feeling in her gut. She decided to retire to her own room and lock the door. Just as she extinguished her lamp, a faint knocking came from downstairs. It was rhythmic and deliberate, growing louder with each passing minute. Gripping her candle, Clara crept down the stairs, her heart pounding in her chest. In the lobby, she froze. The front door was wide open, swinging gently on its hinges. The fog had seeped inside, curling around the furniture like ghostly fingers. And there, standing in the center of the room, were the 5 guests, their faces now ghastly pale and their eyes black as coal. "You shouldn't have let us in. We've been waiting for so long." Before Clara could scream, the fog engulfed her and everything went dark. The next morning, the townsfolk found the Ashwood Inn deserted. The building stood as though untouched, but Clara was gone, and no trace of the mysterious guests could be found. Strangely, the inn's ledger had a single line written in Clara's handwriting. They came from the fog. The inn remained abandoned, and to this day, locals swear that when the fog rolls into Hawthorne Hollow, shadowy figures can be seen wandering its halls, forever seeking the next unwitting soul to join them.